Hello and welcome to game number 2 between lalush and Socke. lalush will be playing as the red Zerg player at the lower right hand corner, and Socke will be playing as the light blue Protoss player at the upper left hand corner. We do see one gateway as well as one pylon being placed at the top of the ramp for Socke at this moment, and Socke is already inside the base of lalush as he did send out that probe pretty early, directly after he placed down the pylon, and this probe is on patrol, and I think he did catch this drone going over to the side. He wants to beat him to the natural expansion, and it looks like he will be able to deny that hatchery from going up. There is going to be a lot of minerals being piled up at this moment for the Zerg player, as I think he is trying to decide if he wants to put down that hatchery or grab the extractor. And there's going to be an assimilator going up inside the base of Socke, as Socke and lalush is both dancing around here, both focused on the side here, because this is really important early game because you have that advantage of delaying your opponent's hatchery. Ooh, I think he was going to go for the hatchery, but it was denied. I think this is just inside the range of that hatchery, perhaps getting in maybe half or maybe two of those squares, preventing that hatchery from going up. There's going to be a spawning pool and an extractor, and there's a cancel there on the pylon. And I think at this moment he has nothing but drones, and he will be building a queen and 4 zerglings momentarily, as he is probably going to try to expand again. He does have almost 300 minerals. He really wants to use that 300 minerals. You never want to pile up so much cash at the very beginning of the game, but Socke is doing a great job at denying that expansion. I think he wants to get in here and prevent him from doing anything, and there will be some Zerglings. Zerglings have spawned. Zerglings will be coming over to the left side here, and there will be a pylon, and this probe is going to go down really quickly, and the pylon will get taken down or canceled possibly, as there are some Zerglings and drones working on it at this moment. More pylons are being opened, and another pylon goes up, and I believe that pylon was canceled. And Socke does have 2 gas at the moment. He only has 1 zealot though. The second sentry will be coming out. The second unit, the first sentry, will be coming out momentarily, as there is going to be a constant mining of the gas, and these drones don't look like they're going to stop mining those gas anytime soon. Metabolic boost may or may not be coming on the way, as there is going to be 1 roach warren. It is always interesting to see the opening build for the Zerg player, because that will pretty much determine what will happen in the game. There is going to be an overlord spotting the natural expansion of Socke, and he will see that his opponent has not yet gotten the natural expansion. So at this time, there's going to be 2 bases for lalush as soon as this hatchery is done, of course, and there's only going to be 1 base for his opponent, Socke. And lalush is probably really happy at this moment. He has pumped out a lot of those drones. This is non-stop drone production, and he did leave, I think, 2 drones on the gas there, as the 3rd drone is not going to be working. He is going to be focusing a little bit more on the minerals. The income tab does reflect that both players are about the same in terms of minerals, but Socke does have an advantage, as he does have 2 gases already. lalush is almost, I would say, 66% complete of the first gas. That means he only has 2 of those thingies working on it, and the nexus will be open, as Chrono Boost is being used on the warp gate this game. If you guys haven't seen game number 1, it was a really unusual game with some interesting strategies, and there's also going to be a second extractor going up for lalush at this moment, as some drones are getting transferred. There's a total of 6 drones being transferred out of a total of about, I think that is 13. So some people do like to transfer about 50% of the drones. I guess lalush does not like doing that, because when you transfer about 50% of your drones, you do waste a lot of mining time on those drones. But it seems that more and more drones are being transferred, and he will be making drones at this hatchery to that hatchery. It is sort of a what has a better benefit versus the cost argument, because some people do like to transfer about 50% and then they rally this hatchery back to the normal spacing, so he doesn't have to wait for these drones to cross this little gap. But of course, that is all opinionated, and this Zergling was checking out the top of the ramp of Socke, and if we take a look at the unit counting station, there's going to be 1 zealot, 4 sentries, and there's going to be a total of 4 of those Zerglings, and there is going to be 1 overseer cocoon coming up momentarily, as the middle hatchery is also going to be grabbed by lalush at this moment. Income tab does show that lalush is ahead in both minerals and not so much gas. Gas is about the same now, but Socke will be opening up his 3rd gas, and there's going to be 1 Phoenix coming out of a starport, Stargate once again, and this Phoenix will be scouting his opponent quite well. He will see that there is 1 queen along with the 3rd extractor. Will be taking a few shots at these overlords, and will be able to come in here. He does spot the roach as well as does Hydralis then, so he knows exactly what's going on, and on the way back he should possibly see this hatchery as well, and he does, and he is going to take down the overseer that is coming into the base. The overseer is going to come in and probably will die, and does continue contaminate on the Stargate. Great play there. And he also sees the robotics facility, so he might suspect that Colossus or Immortals might be on the way, and this Overseer is going to go down here on the side. That is one hopeless Overseer because he can't really outrun the speed of the Phoenix, and the Phoenix is going to take down this Overlord possibly, but there is going to be one Queen covering it, and the army size is at 68 versus 60. Advantage for the Zerg player as he has expanded to the third expansion. He did get his second expansion early, and the third expansion is up just now, and he will be able to take down that Overlord and just barely escapes with 9 HP. I believe one or so more hits from that Queen would have taken him down, and of course the Hydralisk then will be researching that +1 Hydra range for those Hydralisks. That is really useful, and we do see a robotics facility along with a robotics bay going up. There's going to be a total of 2 robotics facilities. Robotics facilities really good for those Colossus, and there's going to be some more of those Phoenix. There's a total of 3 Phoenix, and that 1 Phoenix that did get an Overlord kill on the side there. And more gateways are being opened at this moment, as I think he is going to pick off some of those drones. Notice he's picking up the drones at the gas line, because sometimes when you're panicking or when you're stressing your opponent, they forget to put those drones back onto the gas line. But of course not lalush, not a high grade player like him, and he is going to be in trouble here as he is going to run those Phoenixes away. And I think that range for the Hydralisk range is not complete. That's why he was able to get a few more shots off with those Phoenix, because I think one of those Phoenix would have definitely gone down because there was a pack of Hydralisks, and those Hydralisks were simply not in range. And he's going to come in here, but he will be able to escape as the range for the Hydralisk has been complete. The army size at this point is going to be 91 versus 88, very close, and the unit composition does show a lot of those Hydralisks, and he does have 9 Hydralisks and 4 Zerglings versus only a handful of units for the Protoss player. But he will be getting dual Colossus, and he's also going to be getting the Thermal Lance upgrade, which increases the range quite significantly. So this is going to be troublesome for the Zerg player lalush, because he does have a lot of those Hydras, and Hydras really melt very quickly because they have very low HP. They do a ton of damage though. They do have 80 HP, which is slightly more than a Marine, about 2 Marines put together. And there's going to be some more sniping of the gas, and I think he will be able to snipe off that 1 drone, and it appears that he does put down the 3rd drone on the gas line there. Very good play by lalush, and he is not going to saturate this one, it seems. And he does have an oversaturation of drones at this base at the moment, and he does pull 3 of those. It looks like 4 of those went in. 1, 2, 3, and there looks like, there is exactly 3. There's going to be 3 Phoenixes still flying around. This 1 Phoenix does have 3 kills, 0 kills, and 4 kills, so he did get about 7 kills worth of stuffs, but that is not going to be sufficient. And he is going to pick up that 1 Zergling as his units are moving out at the moment. Army size is going to be at 124 versus 118 as the Protoss player is going to move out with a tremendous amount of Colossus. None of those are hallucinations, but of course lalush does not know that, as he does not have an Overseer on the field, but that doesn't matter as he's going to be pushing out here, and these drones should probably run for it, as this base is definitely going to go down. The drones are going to run for it. These drones, most of them will survive. He is going to lose, I think, 1 or 2 drones on the side there. And I think this is not the army size that lalush wants to engage in, because he has a lot of Hydras, a lot of Roaches, and a ton of Banelings. Banelings are really good against Zealots and Sentry, not so much for the Stalkers, because the Stalkers are armor units. And this is actually a really bad situation for lalush being, as he did spawn some of those more Hydras, and those Hydras did die right away. Some of these Overlords are going to go down as well. He does have a lot of Hydras, and he's loading a lot of those Banelings up into those Overlords. That could be really useful if he could get a nice draw. But then again, his opponent does have a good amount of Stalkers, and the Colossus aren't really light units, because the Banelings do additional damage to light units, and it appears that the Protoss player Socke is going to fall back here and build up momentarily, as he's going to be making more and more Immortals. He is going to stop production of his Colossus, and just as I said that, he did queue up another Colossus on the way. And there's going to be some drones being transferred over to the base on the west side, as these Stalkers will catch these drones, and these drones will all go down. Ouch, that's gotta hurt for lalush. Lalush does pull off some of his drones, and he's lost about, I would say, about 60% or so of those drones. And some of these Zerglings, some of these Roaches and Hydras are getting attacked at, and he should probably cancel this hatchery. Cancel the hatchery, don't let it go up. And he's going to let it go up. Oh, he does cancel it. That was a good last minute cancel there, and we might see a huge engagement here as he's going to commit, it seems, and the Colossus are in position. He's getting more and more Stalkers, and I think this is not a good place to drop, because he has a lot of Banelings. Banelings are great against those lighter units, those smaller units, and he is going to not grab his third base. The Protoss player is going to be on 3 bases momentarily, as he does have an income advantage at this point because he is on his third base. The Zerg player is still trying to get his third base, and we might see an engagement here as some of these Phoenix has scouted the Overlord moving up to the right section of the map. There's going to be one hatchery going up there, and that is really long distance mining by the set of drones. Besides, this is at 172 versus 162, and he's getting some free shots off in those roaches, and he is going to commit it here. He is going to place down some very, very good force fields, critical force fields there, and he's going to drop off those Balins. Balins are dying very quickly, and he's blowing up a lot of those sentries as well as Zealots, but what is left out of that drop is the Stalkers and the Colossus, and the Colossus are in charge here. They are still 4 Colossus, 3 Colossus, and lalush has got a GG here. He is running for it, and he claims the game is almost balanced. It is quite balanced, I think, or maybe not. Hope you guys enjoyed that game, and if you like what you see, please do subscribe to me at youtube.com/GGYourface, and thanks for watching. See you guys at the next game.